A history-making weekend has finally concluded as we finally close on this two-day Wrestle Kingdom special. Boy, did it leave you with something to remember in more ways than one. Hello, everybody. I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster. Welcome again, once again, to another Simple Take, which is basically my brief recap, reviews, and overall thoughts as we finally look at the closing to Wrestle Kingdom weekend. This, of course, was Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. With that, I'm just going to get right into it because there's a few things on my mind and a couple of questions that some of my friends, as well as some theories some of my friends brought up that I also want to discuss that could have some potential realistic outcome for the future. So first off, we start off with the pre-show. We had the six-man Never Openweight Tag Team Championship Gauntlet. We had, of course, the champs defending against faction trios from all the factions in New Japan. It first started off with, excuse me, the faction of, and it wasn't the champs actually. It started off with the Chaos faction of Robbie Eagles, Tomohiro Ishii, and the Headhunter Yoshihashi. And they kicked off against Bullet Clubs, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and the Tokyo Pimp Yojiro Takahashi. Apologize for that name. No Peter, sorry. Anyway, I guess you have prior obligations. This was a nice, fun back and forth. It started off a little wild. Robbie Eagles mostly controlling the early front. Then Tomohiro Ishii gets the hot tag, and of course, he faces the guy that has the second strongest pinfall record of 2019 in the Crown Jewel, Chase Owens. And they have a small scuffle, in which case Chase Owens, he tries to challenge Tomohiro to do his own game. Didn't work out, as Tomohiro Ishii, he pinned Chase Owens to eliminate Bullet Club. Once again, the losing streak of Wrestle Kingdom weekend for Bullet Club, it continued as they have not gotten a win yet. 0-4, I believe, up to this point. Anyway, following this, the third team to come in, all hail the Holy Dark Emperor, led by Taiji's own voice himself, you know what I mean. It's Suzuki-gun, my faction, and that was the team consisting of Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, and Taiji. Basically, in this moment, though, we had, of course, Tomohiro Ishii and Taiji. They mixed it up, once again renewing that rivalry. Yoshihashi was mostly on the apron, but Robbie Eagles was mostly a lot in taking a lot of the blunt punishment in the ring during this stint especially. But he somehow catches a surprise roll-up win, and his first win at the Tokyo Dome, probably one of the biggest pinfall wins of his career, on the heel master, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and they eliminate Suzuki-gun. Chaos continues. 2 teams to go. So who comes in? Is it the champs? Nope, it is LIJ themselves. Los Ingobernables de Japón, the team comprising of Evil, and Shingo Takagi, and Bushi. So these 6 guys, they go at it, and of course things really picked up when we pick up a rivalry where it seems like they're just destined to fight each other forever, it seems, as Evil and Tomohiro Ishii, they mixed it up in the ring, and everybody went wild. At one point, Robbie Eagles, he eats a suicide dive. These two, Tomohiro Ishii and Evil, they are literally luricking each other, suplexing each other, withstanding everything possible, but in the end, Evil, with Darkness Falls, pins Tomohiro Ishii. A bit of a redemption per se after he lost an incredible match last year at, excuse me, I believe, what was it? It was A New Beginning. Excuse me, no, it was Dantaku. My apologies. And hey, they advanced and Chaos was eliminated. But mad props to how far Chaos went, which of course just led one faction left. The champs themselves, who apparently they only defended the titles, I believe, 4 times last year. Yeah, that needed to change. So basically, we have the champs of Toki Makabe, Toriano, and of course, Funky Woman himself, Ryusuke Taguchi, coming off a pinfall win of Juice in front of Liger from Night 1. And of course, right out the gate, what tries to happen? Toriano, he tries to get a surprise roll-up. Of course, his antics all aside. But things really broke down immediately because, you know, LIJ, they're no nonsense. And Shingo Takagi, he really picked up things for his team, going up against challenging freaking lariats, it seems. I always love that, by the way, when it happens. But eventually, Togi Makabe and Shingo Takagi, they're just trying to challenge each other. Oh, who's got the stronger arm? Well, Shingo won that exchange in the end, but it didn't matter because the tag to Ryusuke Taguchi and referee distraction later as he tried to win with the same move he won from a night one. Didn't work. He ends up eating miss in the face after a referee spot causes Bushi to take out one of them. I forget who. And basically, after a miss spot, Taguchi, he eats a pumping bomber and made in Japan, and LIJ becomes the new six-man never overweight tag team champions. I was personally okay with this because I believe they'll do more with the titles. And hey, Evil, who had a really rough year but tried to break out as himself in the singles, going through the G1, trying to get the certificate, challenging Tomohiro Ishii, it's nice to see something positive come up for him. And now he has gold. And so does Shingo Takagi, who broke out as a junior heavyweight this year and became heavyweight. He went through the G1. He had an epic clash later on during the Destruction Tour with Hiroki Goto, and had one of my favorite matches last year against Will Ospreay after basically running the entire junior heavyweight field. Glad he's got some gold. And then you got Bushi, where people kind of seem indifferent to him, but he challenged Will Ospreay for that WGP Junior Heavyweight Championship last year, and he also pinned the British Heavyweight Championship last year too. So fair is fair. I believe all three of these men, they deserved it. It was a nice pre-show opener. There was a nice 25-minute reprieve, and then we get into the main card. First off, hashtag thank you Liger. We kick off with Jushin Thunder Liger's official last match in his wrestling career. I still can't believe I said that, but it's true. We, of course, get Fujiwara himself. Why everybody claims I got the armbar. Chris Jericho claims that he's one of the best all around. This is the grandfather of the armbar, all right? Respect Fujiwara. 70 years old, too. My God. Anyway, he came out, of course, to be in Jushin Thunder Liger's corner, which assists of longtime rival in Jushin Thunder Liger, Sanu. Apologies if I screwed up that name. I have not had sleep for the last 48 hours. And, of course, his partner, Jushin Thunder Liger. Before that, we get the team of Ring of Honor TV champion Rhea Lee and the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion in Hiromu Takahashi, the Time Bomb himself. And these two, they come out with a little bit of respect. They have roots going all the way back to the time in Mexico. It was a little bit sketchy at first. Some people even asked me, do I believe they would work properly together and not cross each other? I believe they were going to, because look at the bigger picture here. What's the goal here? Beat Jushin Thunder Liger. But here's the thing. If you look at the post-match interviews from night one like I did on NJPW's Twitter, you'll know that Hiromu Takahashi, he wanted to fulfill a promise. He got the title, that was one half, so he hoped for the fearsome Jushin Thunder Liger, the best Liger he could possibly get, because that's what he wanted. And in a way, he got classic Liger, and you could see the look on his face. I wasn't sure if he was serious, indifferent, excited, etc., because Jericho teased it could be Ultimate Liger, which, as you all know, is the white and gold Liger. Kind of sad I didn't see that, but oh well. And anyway, this was a fun opening tag match and a great farewell. Basically, what happened during this match is, at one point, though, things really turned. In the beginning, it was Jushin Thunder Liger and Rhea Lee. That was extremely fun. And by the way, Jushin Thunder Liger is 13-1 in matches in the Tokyo Dome. He was handed his first defeat freaking last night. Okay, just saying. By the way, this is being recorded 5:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wrestle Kingdom 14 officially concluded. But anyway, following this, Hiromu Takahashi, he gets in, and he and Liger, they have a great back and forth bout and stalemate. But things really picked up an interesting point when Rhea Lee and Hiromu Takahashi tried to take a 2-on-1 advantage on Liger and attacked him. And this really got the crowd booing them heavily. But anyway, you fast forward a little more in the match. Sano, he still got it, man. He pulls off an insane top rope missile dropkick spot, takes out both men. But in the end, it doesn't matter, because towards the end, we get just from Liger gets some momentum, and it's Liger versus Hiromu. This is what Hiromu wanted. He even called out, give me that Liger, give me that fearsome Liger. I think he got it to an extent, but here's the amazing thing, and I kind of expected this, but still, huge endorsement feather in his cap. Hiromu Takahashi pins Jushin Thunder Liger with the Time Bomb. Time Bomb 1, by the way, not 2. And basically, he endorses, I feel like, Hiromu as the future. Now, here's the one thing that bugged me about this whole night. My freaking stream crashed. Their servers got wrecked or something for like 15 minutes, so I didn't see, like, okay, as soon as the bell rung, he won. So I was just waiting, what the hell? Come on. So I'm just refreshing my stream and network, going for the Japanese bit for a little bit, and that didn't come in. Then it finally did. And then all of a sudden, my TV, it snapped back in place on the English stream, because I cast. But from my phone. But anyway, because Roku has that capabilities. It was a really good match, and I did get to see, of course, Liger leaving with his running mates, /rivals in Sano and Fujiwara, which was a really nice, fun farewell. I can't wait to see his retirement ceremony at New Year's Dash, and a huge return comeback so far for Roman Takahashi. Conquering Will Ospreay, earning back Mr. Belt, and pinning Joseph Liger in officially his last match. Boy, I'm going to miss that entrance in fame. At least I got it on my iTunes playlist. But I digress. Really fun opener. Following that, we go into the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships match between Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo versus ELP and the Bone Soldier, Taiji Zamora. You all know what this rivalry stems from. Basically, in this match, though, the one thing we all wondering, where was Rocky Romero? He wasn't at the pre-show. He wasn't on commentary during the pre-show. He wasn't in the opening of the pre-show for commentary, even though the Romero special was used by Joseph Liger during that match. Well, now we know. And he brought out that weird giant fire extinguisher, I guess you could say. He was with his boys, and he accompanied them to the ring. But he also kind of led them pretty much to the end results. But this match was really fun. Had some great spots. You, of course, have ELP, who is a king, it seems, of showboating, but sometimes usually backs it up, as at one point he did a moonsault rake to the back of Sho. I'm like, why did you do that? And of course, both of them got in the corner spot where they have their opponent hanged up, and ELP and Taiji, they literally stomped the frijoles of both Sho and Yo in respective corners. But things really picked up going forward when ELP got the better of Sho and literally pulled off former Bullet Club leader, I might add, move, Styles Clash, phenomenally pitch perfect. Still was not enough to get the win. Rocky Romero was also at ringside ELP. He took him out, much to Gino Gambino's happiness. Anyway, as we progress further down this match, Sho and Yo, they regain control, but then the ref, he gets knocked out. They try and do a belt spot, but Rocky Romero, he grabs the belt, and as ELP tries to go for a low blow, Sho was wearing a cup. Yep, I haven't seen that since, I believe, Kurt Angle and his so-called wife back then in Impact Wrestling in TNA tried that same stint. And basically that led to ELP hurting his hand, but also following that, it led to Roppongi 3K's first ever Tokyo Dome victory, and they become the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions with the help of Rocky Romero, who told us afterwards he had the plan all along with the cup, King of Sneaky Styles per se, and they win with a combination stock arrow double stomp on ELP, with Sho pinning him. An incredible moment, incredible first, but fun, fast-paced, great action. I really enjoyed this match. Now, the thing is, though, Bullet Club, they lose another set of titles, and they're now 0-5. They still have yet to win at freaking Wrestle Kingdom. This could be one of the worst Wrestle Kingdoms to date, as one of my friends pointed out. This hasn't been that bad up to this point since 2017 for them. But I digress. Anyway, a great win for them. They once again got the titles. They got their trophies back. Now they're on top of the junior heavyweight division, and Chaos got more gold. So good on them. I'm curious to see who challenges them next. Following that, we go into a really fun sleeper match for me, because this was nothing but back and forth mat wrestling. It was beautiful. It was Suzuki-Gun's Zack Sabre Jr., the current Rev Pro, I'm just going to say, British Heavyweight Champion, versus Cold Skull Sonata. Really, I looked at this match almost like a British Grounds match, per se, because really it looked like every round they were just going move for move for move, counter for counter. You think about in the early opener, it was just about, okay, who can I gain control of my opponent? Can I grab them, per se? Can I ground them? Because, you know, Zack Sabre Jr., he's all about the submissions game. But Sonata, he's also technically sound, too. This was a match of technical wrestling. And at one point during, I guess you could say, round one, it was a stalemate, as neither man could really gain grit over the other. Sonata went for the Paradise Lock even, couldn't do it. And Zack Sabre Jr. tried to go for the Octopus and his Hello Special and all that stuff. Couldn't do it. Towards the midpoint of this match, though, you could tell Zack Sabre Jr. was getting frustrated because he couldn't get the advantage. He pulls off a Cobra Trish, but then Sonata, who has the strength advantage, while he kept on wailing him, Sonata, who seemed very calm and composed in this match, much more, I believe, than his matches with Okada, per se. I think he came in here with a much more calmer demeanor. Then again, he even said he didn't really care about the belt, so there you go. That's why Zack Sabre Jr. trusted that belt more than anything. But anyway, as we kept moving forward on this match, Jr., he gets distracted, he gets really frustrated, lets his emotions get the best of him as Sonata controls the ring. But then he comes back into play, and Zack Sabre Jr. gets a little bit of control over Sonata, grounds him. These two are going roll up for 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 roll up at one point for nearly a G1 Climax 29 opener finish, where Sonata got Zack Sabre Jr. in the same type move. Didn't happen. We go for the European clutch. Didn't happen. Zack Sabre Jr. beat him with that move back at, I believe, the G1. But anyway, this match really came down to who could just get their opponent down enough. Because up to this point, Sonata has owned Zack Sabre Jr. in all his singles matches, in pinfall victories. Has not tapped him out. Same could be said for Zack Sabre Jr. He has not done the same thing for Sonata. He finally broke the jinx here. So, it was a really good match, and in the end, Zack Sabre Jr., he won literally with a European clutch towards the very end after they once again exchanged roll for roll for roll up. And even before this, Sonata, he literally disoriented Zack Sabre Jr., rolled him around the ring and trying for a roll up. He really was going for his strength here and how he's beating him in the previous matches. Pinfall victories. But in the end, the submission master himself relied on his mat game and locked down Sonata for 3 seconds, and Sonata loses, which was a surprise to some people, I'm sure. But again, Zack Sabre Jr., he is British pro wrestling. One of the best today, if not the best technically sound British pro wrestler today. And that title and him are like meant for each other, in my opinion. I was not surprised one bit. It was a really great match, though, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So following that, we go into a score to be settled, as Jon Moxley defends his IWGP United States Championship against Juice Robinson, who won Tag Team Gold the following night, but he knew he had this match coming. But my biggest thing was looking at the post-interview, his back seemed messed up. So I was wondering if his back was even going to hold up during this. And his back took a lot of punishment, but he also gave a lot of punishment to it. As soon as Juice Robinson gets to the ring and sees Jon Moxley, don't wait for the bell. He tries to take full advantage of Jon Moxley, who went through a Texas Death Match previous night, 15 minutes of hell, as commentary put it. But in the end, it wasn't enough for Jon Moxley to gain advantage. And by the way, Taika Hattori was the ref for a bunch of these matches, and this was also Taika Hattori's Tokyo Dome send-off, as he's basically leaving and done too. He's done with his career as well. So, mad respect and thank you to both Juice in front of Liger and Taika Hattori to everything they've given to professional wrestling. Especially Taika Hattori being a ref for over 40 years, I believe, for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Anyway, going through this match, though, Juice Robinson, he delivered a lot of power spots, including but not limited to a suplex off the top rope, other suplexes as well. Once again, working the back, but Jon Moxley, he worked over the back. At one point, these two were exchanging chairs. But as you fast forward towards this, I guess you could say kind of hateful bout per se. As you know, these two go all the way back to their time in Florida, and obviously Juice Robinson wanted to win, but Jon Moxley, he said it, all or nothing. Going to Tokyo with everything, or leaving Tokyo with nothing. He leveled everything, as he survived not one, but 2 left-handed gods, and also left-handed god through a chair that impaled him in the face early in the match, though I'm pretty sure that probably screwed up Juice Robinson's hand, which probably led to the other 2 hands of God, left-handed god being weakened. He got Juice Robinson with not one Death Rider, but another emphatic one where he lifts him and plants him in the ring with a double underhook DDT, and Jon Moxley retains the IWGP United States Championship 1, 2, 3. The score is settled, and Juice Robinson, he still won half the IWGP Tag Team Champion. So, nothing to be ashamed of in his game. So, as we move on from there, I'm wondering what's happening next, and then I see the lights go out as Jon Moxley declares his statement. I hear the music. Oh man, this made me so happy. I'll admit, I marked out. There, I said it. I'm a wrestling fan. I marked out. I have dreamed of this match and dreamed of this match and dreamed of this match. Now it has potential to happen. I feel it's going to. The United States title. The King himself, Asaninare, Minoru Suzuki. He comes out and lays out Jon Moxley and then says, "You want to fight me? Oh, no. I'm going to fight you, and I'm going to take this from you." So it looks like one of our first feuds coming up in 2020 is literally Jon Moxley versus, you heard me right, the King himself, Minoru Suzuki, for the IWGP United States Championship. With the amount of punishment, brutality, psychological warfare that these two bring alone, There is no doubt what depths these two are going to do to put each other through hell in this once in a lifetime dream match, and I cannot freaking wait. And as John Moxley, he regains his composure. Minoru is already long gone. He's just wondering what the hell happens. It would not surprise me one bit if he comes out during New Year's Dash. And this really makes me excited because people are questioning Minoru Suzuki. Is he leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, going back to Pro Wrestling Noah because he's unhappy? And then there's been a lot of questions about several of the talents in New Japan Pro Wrestling regarding their happiness and contracts and such. I think it's Minoru Suzuki. He's got at least one more program that's keeping New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I think he's going to remain there for the time being. Why someone declared there might be dissension in the race of Suzuki Gun, for example. I think we're okay. Anyway, moving on from there, we go into a bout that was definitely more about hateful spite, emotion, and feeling as we go into the never openweight championship picture with Hiroki Goto challenging Kenta. Hiroki Goto, of course, history favoring him as he's had a strong Tokyo Dome record as well as number of reigns for this title. Then you have Kenta making his Tokyo Dome debut, basically taunting Hiroki Goto at every turn and basically holding over the fact that he attacked Katsuyori Shibata, who, of course, Hiroki Goto, he's very close to. In fact, it was said that Hiroki Goto has even been going through training regimens with Shibata ahead of this match to prepare for Kenta. And these two beat the living shit out of each other, as you expect with the Never Blink title, because it's a throwback to, as they said, of true pro wrestling strong style. Y'all know who I'm talking about when it comes to that as well. And not just the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata. Anyway, these two, the living daylights of each other. At one point, they are just constantly exchanging. I was wondering who's going to get the better of this. And then Hiroki Goto, he literally knocks out Kenta, I thought. But before that, Kenta, he almost got a near... What is it about New Japan Pro Wrestling and near falls? It's like one of the greatest strengths, but it's also one of those things that keeps me in my seat, but can cause anxiety with me. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. As we go through this match, he does get in by the count of 19. Kenta, he's controlling the ring. He's absorbing the hatred of the crowd, quickly becoming one of the most hated men in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I still don't think he's as hated as Jay White, but that's just me. Anyway... As this match progressed, again, these two are just constantly exchanging, and at one point towards the end, these two are literally slapping. Open hand palm slapping each other to see whose will break first. Open slap palm strikes and chops. Well, guess what? Kenta's did. In the end, Kenta, he tries to lock in Hiroki Goto in the game over. It wasn't enough, and Goto, he overcomes Kenta, pulling off not only a GTW, to a near fall, but it wasn't enough. But he also gets the win, and once again becomes the IWGP Never Openweight Champion, pinning Kenta with a GTR. He put Kenta to sleep. Another loss for Bullet Club. Yes, I have hiccup. Sue me. Anyway, this was a really competitive match, but it really surprised me because I'm like, okay, so Hiroki Goto once again is Never Openweight Champion. How long is this reign going to last? Does he really need another reign? And then you look at Kenta, who really didn't care about the belt, but it's like his first goal. It's his Tokyo Dome debut. GOD endorsed him as a future, and he loses. It's just been a horrible Wrestle Kingdom up to this point for Bullet Club. They were 0-5 or 6, lost count. But I'm curious to see now what's next for Goto and Kenta. But as we progress through the night, I think you all know what's next for Kenta. But speaking of progression, they also highlight a little bit of the big events for the scheduled year of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, we have coming up in February the New Beginning Tour, which will occur in Sapporo and Osaka. We also have, Shingoku Lord coming up in March. We also have the 48th, yes, you heard me right, 48 years in this promotion's history, God bless it, anniversary show. And of course, we also have the return of the New Japan Cup. But what was interesting following this is G1 Climax 30, I might add. It's going to actually take place through the fall, autumn season, all the way into October because of the Olympics that are occurring from Tokyo. And the torch runner is going to be freaking Kazuchika Okada. So I thought that was very interesting. And of course, they're going to have so much more. They didn't talk about like a U.S. event per se, like the G1 Supercar, because of course they don't have Taz Ring of Honor anymore. And They didn't really talk about much more besides that. Oh yeah, and of course Best Super Juniors as well. And they did talk about. I'm just trying to remember everything because you know it's in Japanese. They did talk about also Dontaku. It will be back as well in May, as well as Dominion in June. So of course we have all the additions to look forward to. A rescheduled G1 climax. So the summer season is going to be very interesting. And of course, all of our classic Grand Prix, starting off with the New Japan Cup and Best of Super Juniors. I hate hiccups. Anyway, damn it. Excuse me. Getting back into the show, we finally get into more meat of the card, per se, the top 3 matches. And it starts off with the specials singles match from the two, I'm not going to call them losers, all right? I'm going to call them runner-ups because they left everything out there in the ring. As we had Jay White versus Kota Ibushi. Of course, Jay White in his post-match interview from night 1, he says he's going to deliver a very dark, personal, painful message. And he literally just can't accept the fact that he lost. And even points out how he thinks y'all aren't laughing. I expect y'all to be laughing the fact that I'm not going to be your double champ. Because y'all don't want me to be your double champ. As he kept proclaiming. Anyway, this match, though, it went longer than I expected it would, because considering that these two men had a total of 1 hour between their two matches night 1 and got brutalized, they took their bumps and they ran with it. Of course, Kota Ibushi, he gets brutalized at first and taken advantage of by Jay White, literally getting hanged up over the guardrail and being the outside ring used Jay White's advantage. Of course, Gedo's also in his corner. But then Kota, he goes to that place where he doesn't exist. Basically, he's emotionless. He doesn't feel anything. He doesn't feel pain. And as Jay White's trying to figure this out, and he keeps striking him. What does Kota do? One shot, he literally knocks him out. And I thought, okay, well, he's dead. Anyway, as Kota regained basically his inner personality, towards the middle of this match, we get a ridiculous, my gosh, that man's neck's got to go through more suffering than anyone else, I think, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Super Uranagi from the top rope, but it wasn't enough. And then, of course, multiple snap suplexes. Of course, he's working over Jay White's neck. Gato tries to come and play here a couple of times. And then, as the match progressed, we get a throwback to, y'all remember the cleaner, right? Kenny Omega, one of his friends. Yeah, Kota Ibushi, he pulls off a V-trigger out of nowhere. And then he immediately, the ref gets, of course, knocked out, Marty Asami. And as Kota Ibushi, he has him down for a win for a fall. He's still disoriented, so he just brings the ref back in the ring. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I was watching this match that really told the story of the lengths Jay White would go to win and the desperation I felt like he felt like here. Excuse me. I must say, Kota, he goes to that dark spot again. It looks like he's about to kill Gato. And it looked like he did, as Gato just, one of my favorite flops. He just literally falls per se. But anyway, excuse me. These hiccups are really annoying, people. The match basically ends after Jay White, he throws everything at him. Not only a chair flung to his face where Joey Styles would say, hello. But also, you get the idea that he's willing to do anything as Gato finally knocks him out with some brass knuckles. And then following that, Straight Jacket Blaze Sunday. A shout out to one of the former Bullet Club leaders you might remember. Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, the Rock Roller himself. And then a Blade Runner, and he gets the win, much to the chagrin of everybody. But it's also Bullet Club's first win at Wrestle Kingdom. So I thought this was a really insane, intense match, but the way I think about it is this. Kota Ibushi, he fought to be in the Tokyo Dome. He fought to be in the main event. He got his dream, but he just didn't capitalize on it. And then you look at the specials match, you're wondering, can he capitalize from this? And he also loses. Honestly, I think Kota Ibushi's dream kind of turned into a nightmare for him. But I'm just saying. Anyway, excuse me. Jay White, though, he said he was going to come out and do a statement, and he did. And then, to follow up on that, what does he do? Another Blade Runner that literally ragdolls Kota Ibushi. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, I hope his neck's okay. But you talk about a rough start of the year to Kota Ibushi. He wins the G1. He He fails to capitalize on the briefcase, and he loses the following night. I honestly don't know what's next for the Golden Star at this point or what he needs to do, but this certainly wasn't the start as a whole that I expected, and I believe he truly deserves better. And we all know Jay White. He's going to do everything he can to prove and shove it down our throats why he is the best professional wrestler, period. So we'll have to see what happens from here with New Year's Dash, but I just hope that the Golden Star bounces back. Anyway, which leads us to our special match where we really think about, is the world about to change? Is a forbidden door about to be opened? And this was a really fun, amazing match, I must say. It's amazing how dynamic Chris Jericho is. What he lacks in physical capabilities for his body and regimen and all that, drinking too much of the bubbly, a little bit of the bubbly, he makes up for in endless in-ring just fundamentals, psychology, awareness, and character development. No wonder he's the GOAT. So, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan, he takes on the Painmaker, Chris Jericho, who, I might add, brings in wearing the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I should probably get one of those myself. Anyway, this match was a lot of mind games at first. As soon as we get into the match, the Ace gets the advantage over Chris Jericho and literally mocks his "Come on, baby!" stance. Not once, but twice. This, of course, pissed Jericho off. And Chris Jericho with all the Ace with all his best hits, including multiple air guitars from onto the audience. Someone got a nice souvenir. But following this, Jericho put off his greatest hits, including Spike DDT and the Ace himself through a table and giving everybody the Winnipeg salute through a much smaller camera. Following this, commentary is taken out for like a good, I believe, like 5-10 minutes, and it was very much organic now. You could just watch the match, be your own commentator, or hear the reaction from the audience themselves. And basically, they traded moves here, as at one point, Chris Jericho tries to pull off the high-five flow, crashes and burns, and Tanahashi just smiles. And moving on from there, commentary, they finally come back into play, and towards the middle bit of this match, both men, they exchange dreaded low blows. Not the smartest move. But the Ace, he gains advantage with a dragon screw leg whip, but unfortunately he gets locked into the lion tamer for the first time. And we all know the work that's been done on the Ace's legs and knees and back. I'm pretty sure that man's been through more surgeries than most people in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's just amazing he still wrestles. The Ace will never die, per se. And again, the Ace said if he won, he would cross the forbidden door and go to AEW and challenge for the AEW World Championship, which Chris Jericho, Tony Khan, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they all acknowledge, according to the build in the video package. Anyway, as we move forward towards this match, the Ace, he gets out of the lion tamer, grits his teeth, makes it to the rope, and he pulls off his high-five flow the first time, not enough. He goes for it again later on in the match, and he eats a code breaker. Yes, they still use that. Chris Jericho still uses that. Out of midair. Not enough. Incredible near fall, though. Knee through the table, though, which was brutal, I might add. And towards the end here, Chris Jericho, he gets the advantage of the Ace in a very slow, methodical, paced match. And I can't believe I'm literally saying this. He literally taps the Ace out. Of all the ways that Chris Jericho could finally win Wrestle Kingdom after losing two times in a row, someone needs to fix the person's stats. I did not expect the Ace to tap out. I expected a pinfall, because of course he did go for the Judas effect, couldn't hit that either. And even the Ace went for a victory roll, and he couldn't hold it. But no, Chris Jericho wins. So guess what? As far as we know, that forbidden door, it will remain sealed. And the Ace of New Japan, with a very bad start to his year, with a nice revamped theme of his Love and Energy theme, I might add, as he taps out Chris Jericho. So here's my thoughts on this. Chris Jericho, he is still AEW Le Champion. They mention AEW, they mention Le Champion, they talk about AEW, they talk about the belt, but the Ace lost, so we're not going to get the Ace for Chris Jericho for the title anytime soon. Notice I didn't say never, because here's my thoughts on this. You still got Jon Moxley, who's IWGP United States Champion. He's going to probably challenge Minoru Suzuki. But he's also got this storyline going on right now with Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle and AEW. Then you got Chris Jericho, who literally brought the AEW Championship, proper not, and he was welcoming the challenge. Chris Jericho also pointed out in the backstage interview at Dominion last year, hey, maybe he'll enter the G1. What's stopping Chris Jericho from entering the G1 and further building a bridge, per se, to AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling have a working relationship? The bottom line, I think, is this. There are bridges to men. There are things New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW can't come to agreement upon. But I definitely don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW to come together and work together. I wouldn't be surprised to see Oriental Wrestling Entertainment getting more involved in New Japan Pro Wrestling through AEW influences. We see how amazing CIMA is. I would love to see a match between, CIMA and Taiji, per se. But I digress. Bottom line, it was a really fun match, and Chris Jericho finally gets his first win at Wrestle Kingdom, which truly surprised me, per se. But honestly, 3 years in a row, that would have been overkill. But in the Ace of New Japan, the thing about the Ace of New Japan and Kota Ibushi, I feel like they're New Japan Pro Wrestling for life. And I feel like they're always going to be, so they're always going to be crowd favorites. But the Ace has been established. He's gotten over with the people. He's got a character. Kota needs to find something. I feel like the Ace is going to help lead him towards that. Impromptu or not. We'll just have to see what happens. Which leads us into the main event and the headline story behind this entire Wrestle Kingdom event. Double Gold Dash. The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, versus Tetsuya Naito. Destino. All or nothing. Or just proving that I am the strongest, greatest IWGP Heavyweight Championship of all time. I don't care about the IC title. Well, this match was a Wrestle Kingdom 12 rematch, and it exceeded previous expectations set by both these men back then. This match had everything, my god. It really didn't pick up until Okada pulls off one of his traditional moves, which is, of course, a drop kick to the face that took Naito into next week. As we move further into the match, you could tell that Okada, he didn't give a damn about Naito and his double gold dash Destino, per se. But he did not want to leave anything up to chance because he knows how far Naito can take him and Naito can go. So he literally tries and destroys his knee. Takes him to the outside. He implants the knee into the floor, not once but twice. But then he adds further insult to injury. Apologies for the botch earlier. This wouldn't actually happen. And he literally drives the knee of Tetsuya Naito to the loudest boos I heard all night, by the way, through a table. And this gave me an anxiety attack because it was one of the nearest countouts I have seen in New Japan Pro Wrestling in a long time. 19 9/10. He, of course, makes it back in, eats another drop kick out of nowhere, and Okada, he keeps gaining the advantage with a missile drop kick. But then, towards the middle bit of this match went, I think, for nearly 40 minutes, by the way, Naito pulls off his first Destino. I was super excited for it. He goes for a pin, not enough. And then Okada, he pulls off the spinning Rainmaker. Doesn't go for a fall, but we get the yell, and he goes for another Rainmaker, and he hits it. But not enough to pin Tetsuya Naito, as later on we found out he would go for a pile driver Rainmaker combination. It was not enough. Then he continues working the knee. You could sense frustration. You could sense he just wants this to be done. He's not going to risk his title being lost here. He drives the knee not once, but twice, but 3 times. And towards the end, not one, but 2 more Rainmakers. But it wasn't enough for him. As he tries to go for another, we get Destino wrap up. No. We get that turn into a possible pile driver. No. He finally pulls off a Destino again for the nutter closest near fall of the match. And I thought he finally won. Damn it. No, he didn't. And then Naito, he goes for broke. And this gave me the craziest anxiety attack of the night. As he goes for, basically, if you all know Tetsuya Naito in his past, Stardust press from the top rope with the injured knee. What the hell were you thinking? To another near fall, but it wasn't enough. But it did set up finally the end of this match where Naito, he finally pulls off one last Destino, and he does it. He fulfills his destiny, and wins both IWGP and Intercontinental Championship to the loudest ovation you will hear from the Tokyo Dome. And by the way, that Tokyo Dome crowd was red hot during this entire match. My goodness. It wasn't like your traditional stay quiet during most of it and then pick up. They did not let up for a second, knowing the implications here and how much they wanted Naito to really win this. Anyway, Tetsuya Naito, he wins this. He gets the ovation, he gets the adulation, he gets a mic, and he first off says, Okada, and basically it's like a callback to WrestleMania 12, That was great. Let's do it again sometime. And as Okada's being left out, Okada, he does the fist bump. Respect. An amazing match. Let me just say, first off, thank you, Kazuchika Okada, with everything you've done with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, trying to elevate New Japan Pro Wrestling, trying to bring pro wrestling to a higher level. And you truly are one of the greatest IWGP Heavyweight Champions of all time. Bar none. Simple as that. But anyway, as Tetsuya Naito goes and talks about, now that I've achieved this, I plan to reshape New Japan Pro Wrestling. Definitely got a lot of things coming, because now we got the top 2 titles counted as one. But the question is, what will happen next? You gotta wait and see. So, before we head out, of course, everybody was waiting for this. The LIJ roll call. He calls the names. Bushi, Evil, Sanada, Shingo, Naito, and as he goes for Los Ingobernables, who the hell comes out to ruin this? Kenta. Wow. You talk about, you think about Jay White being the most hated people in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think Kenta right now is the most hated person. Because not only did it just give such absolute adulation from Gino Gambino commentary, but it broke Kevin Kelly, and he basically cussed the man out, cursed his name, and the crowd booed the hell out of this as Kenta laid out Naito and prevented the crowd getting that go-home celebration moment. No confetti rain, no closing pyro, no finish-up LIJ roll call. Bushi, it came out a little bit too late, and he leads through a very hostile environment. I can only imagine if he made it out of the building. And literally, folks, that was the end of Wrestle Kingdom. That is how they ended the show. So my thoughts are this. Kenta, is he the first to challenge Tetsuya Naito for both these titles after ruining his moment? Is the fact that Naito finally achieved this, does that remove the stink that he has from what happened to him 7 years ago surrounding the Intercontinental title per se? Does he finally feel accomplished and fulfilled? Third, what is next now that Bullet Club basically lost everything, but they did make a statement in the end? Is this building towards something bigger? Is there internal deception among the ranks happening? Is G.O.D. looking at the leader of Bullet Club and thinking, maybe something should change? There are a few theories that my friends thrown out to me, including but not limited to Tetsuya Naito handing off the title to Sanada, because as of right now, Sanada's the only one in LIJ without gold. Think about that. He's the only one without gold and had probably the best gear in 2019 out of all of them, besides Shingo Takagi. That's kind of ironic. And then you think about the fact that Okada, he no longer is IWGP Heavyweight Champion. If he wants to become the champ again, he has to accept the fact right now, not only would he be challenging for the title that truly matters to him, that he holds as the greatest title in all of professional wrestling, he would have to challenge for Intercontinental as well. First time ever. Will he do that, and what's next for the Rainmaker, considering he's going to carry the torch for the Olympics and has literally done everything he can? I honestly don't know, but I'm very curious to see what happens. And then Will Ospreay, he's also indifferent after this event, losing to Hiromu Takahashi. He doesn't know what's next for him, but posted on Instagram, it's that pig. So there's a lot of questions yet to be answered. But again, Wrestle Kingdom, it's basically the first episode in the year New Japan Pro Wrestling for 2020. New Year's Dash is the epilogue. And again, as we will learn at bell time, we will see what the year holds. But there's already been some great teasers of things to come. But with that being said, no matter what people say, from the moments to the matches to the surprises to the action, Wrestle Kingdom 14 in its entirety averaged A for me. It was just a superb show top to bottom. And think about this. 2 nights, over 5 hours of professional wrestling each, over 10 hours of professional wrestling on nearly 20 matches as a whole. And I don't feel tired. I feel like it worked perfectly when I consider what happened in the other company at their highlight show, and I got burned out halfway through. I honestly don't know if they will do this going forward, as New Japan Wrestling constantly tries to change the game, but I am burnt out, and honestly I hope they don't, because oh my gosh, this was a lot of pro wrestling for one weekend. But with that being said, Kenta, he got his stuff in. We'll see what happens. Would Kenta try to become leader of Bullet Club? What is Kenta's endgame here? Was this what Bullet Club was planning to do the entire time? We have to see what happens. And what is going on with NJY showing how much desperation he had to do with Kota Ibushi? Is he finally breaking down internally? I don't know. There's a lot of questions left to be answered, and I feel like a lot of changes coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling within the factions themselves to start with. But with that being said, Wrestle Kingdom was an ace show for me. It was superb. Loved it top to bottom both days, and thank you, Liger. With that being said, what were your thoughts on Wrestle Kingdom? What was your favorite match? What was your favorite moment? What surprised you the most? Any questions you have regarding the future of anybody in New Japan Pro Wrestling? I'd love to hear you. Let me know. Please let me know in the comments down below. But if you want to know more about me, and thank you for tuning into this video, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling. Not just sports entertainment. Wrestling in all its forms. So if you want to talk to me about anything, the 5 brands of WWE or New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is my number one, simple as that, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, I already said New Japan, excuse me, Botch, Stardom, the NWA, and Independent Wrestling, Sport Wrestling, folks, and more, look me up on Twitter, NoDQ.com/NoDQ takes you to my Twitter page, or follow me on Instagram, hashtag SimpleManInLife, on Instagram at InFoster1916. I'll give you a nice hello. Food intakes, as well as wrestling moments, stories, and simple moments in my stories every week. Just a nice, fun, welcoming personality. That's all I want to be here. Also, please follow my simple YouTube channel here, youtube.com/user/NoahFoster210. You'll find all sorts of wrestling content on here, a nice, neat, organized playlist for you. New content uploaded every week. At the heart of it is my series, hashtag 205 Life Matters, where I review the Cruiserweight division, then, now, and forever with my good friend, the Holiday Chris Mays. Please follow his channel as well. And we will be doing a new episode, I believe, later today. It is currently Sunday, January the 5th, 6:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But also, if you haven't figured it out by now, support NoDQ. That's the reason I'm in YouTube. Forever and dead to the NoDQ family. Thank you, Aaron, Riff, and company. Go buy a shirt. Go buy merch. That's my shirt over there in the corner, you see. It's hard to figure out the camera angles here. Still learning the setup, folks. Bear with me. Tapestry, stickers, just do it. NoDQ.com/mercy the store. Follow NoDQ on all social media platforms. Your opinions matter. There's a comment section of everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, polls, sexy female pics, reviews. It's all there. Primarily WWE with a little bit of AEW and independent wrestling. Stay tuned as I will be working with Aftermatch Wrestling, a subdivision of Team NoDQ for the NXT team, as we will be predicting NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2. I will also be doing an Expedition, Simply Predicting Wrestling video on Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill. Also, I will be doing, once again, a simple extra with New Year's Dash and a simple take after New Year's Dash goes, as it sets the pace for New Japan Pro Wrestling, at least for going into the New Beginning Tour in February. And shout out to everybody that participated in the TeamIndyDQ Predictions League. Are you a fan of independent wrestling, NWA, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling? Join us, will you, for fun predictions and talks in TeamIndyDQ. Just reach out to one of us. We'll see if you, make the cut. But anyway, as far as TeamIndyDQ go, it was an amazing league, and I'm happy to say that, hey, I won via the tiebreaker. So thank you to everybody that participated. The final scores was as follows. Cash, you got 8. Cindy, you got 11. Follow all my friends, by the way, folks. Instagram, YouTube channels, they all have that. I had 12, but one via tiebreaker because I guessed that show would pin ELP. Chris Willis, you had 10. Chris Mace, you had 10. James Hubert, you had 8. Mark Reviews, you had 12, but you lost out because you said Yo would pin ELP. I beat you by one tiebreaker. Good game and incredible event, folks. And as always, I like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell to know when the next video is going to go live. Hit the subscribe button to know and support me in this fun little endeavor where I'm just a simple content creator for a passion in wrestling. Simple as that. But until the next video, take care, enjoy life, treasure your families. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Find wrestling that you can enjoy. Be a part of this incredible community. I've been a part of it for a year and I have no regrets, and I've met so many wonderful, incredible people and worked with them too. And there'll be other series that I'll be part of this year as well, including the Real Wrestling Podcast and the Wednesday Night War Roundup with my good friend Eric. Go follow me at eReality Entertainment. I might also do some stuff with the Wrestling Rundown. I'm also doing stuff with the Colin Cleaver Andrew on his new show, What's the Beef? So whether I'm here on my YouTube channel, somewhere else in cyberspace, take care, And until the next video, I am going to sleep because I have church in less than 2 hours. I hope you all have a good night. What an incredible start to this year in professional wrestling. Thank you, New Japan Pro Wrestling and Wrestle Kingdom 14. Goodbye, everybody.